the people who were assembled in the audience had a good time hearing it. So I wanted to read it. And what's really funny is that this book is the story is in a little chapbook that I made to take to Gen Con. And I thought that I had one. I know it's right. So I thought that I had one in my backpack, and I didn't. But then I remembered, oh, it's on my laptop, and I can put it on my iPad. So I'm not just some fucking douchebag with an iPad. I'm actually using it. Which is weird. Like, I'm kind of worried that my t-shirt's going to spontaneously turn into a turtleneck. Anything I hold in my left hand will stop working. But I guess we'll just sort of find out together as I tell you the story. When I am done telling you the story, I want to spend the rest of our time together doing Q&A. Because I usually spend like 50 of the 60 minutes telling stories and then trying to race through some questions. And one of the things that was very important to me coming to this PAX was to try to give a little bit back to the community that has given so much to me. And that's why I'm like setting aside time to sign autographs every day, and it's why I thought that it would be cool to do this thing. So like, I know what I want to talk about, but I never know what other people want me to talk about. That sounded like, look how great I am. I didn't mean to. And I wanted to do that. I wanted like you to decide what we're talking about. So after I tell you the story, enforcers will run out like ninjas. They will have a couple microphones, and I would like you to line up no more than 5 at a time. Don't be a dick. And then it will take them until our time is done. And the last announcement I should make before this is over is that my time here today is released under Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike license. Use the material and apply that license to it, please, so when I go to take that cool picture off of Flickr, it doesn't say, all rights reserved. Guy who came to Woodstock in Portland. I was like, wow, I actually look cool in that picture, and I can't show it to anyone. I guess what I can do, Control F4 or switch. So, I'm going to be saying thank you a lot. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody who has, you waited, I imagine, a very long time. And then once you got here, you had to wait a very long time. And I was in the back there, and I was like, what the fuck is the panel starting? Come on, the people are waiting out there. And Hardwick was like, let's amuse ourselves by doing silly Twitter things. So we did that. It was pretty good time. But sincerely, the PAX community has just been amazing. People have been so kind, and when I'm walking around the convention and I kind of just want a game, and someone's like, hey, stop and take a picture with me, and I say, if I stop and take a picture with you, all I'm going to do is take pictures while I'm here to play games, and every single person, it has been awesome. Oh, I totally get that, go be a person. Except one guy who was like a media douche, who was like, but I'm with the press, and I was like, yeah, now go fuck yourself. This is a story about being a gamer. And, there's lots of different kinds of games that we play. We play video games, we play classic video games, we play console games, we play multiplayer games, we play games with our friends, we play games with racist 15-year-olds who tell us how to give away if they fuck our mom. We play board games, we play games that exist in a temporarily shared imagination that we hope to return to all the time. We play games on this stage with Chris Perkins as our DM. But my wife doesn't play any of these games. It's just not her thing. It's not what she's interested in. My wife is, she's not a nerd, she's nerd adjacent. But we have found a few games that we can play together. One of those games is Sorry. Because I make a choice, like, I figured out, like, I could count cards in Sorry, and then I would probably have a better idea of, like, how to win the game, but, like, I can't help it. I start playing a game, and my gamer brain is like, here's how to maximally, efficiently destroy this game. I can't help it, you know? It's like, yeah, well, obviously I'm going to stay there and take the value, I want to wait there and try to move this guy instead, stick him backwards for here. It makes a lot more sense, Sorry you there, than it does over here, because that's how I play. And my wife is just like, gamer when we play it. But one of the games that my wife absolutely loves, that I'm terrible at, is Scrabble. I'm awful at Scrabble. Anne's really good. She's one of those people that routinely gets like 300 points in a two-player game. She's insanely good. And she has this weird like Scrabble food where she just makes magic happen on the board. And I'm usually sort of like, she's Jim Dark Magic and I'm Binwin set on fire. She's the acid pit and I'm ale. So this is a story about playing Scrabble with my wife. Well, that's sort of what it's about on one level. But if you're married or in a long-term relationship with someone, you'll know that it's about something else entirely. It's called Triple Word Score. It was originally published on December 30th, 2008. And I think this was originally published in a column that I wrote for the other. My wife Anne is one of those Scrabble players who regularly scores between 350 and 400 points in a two-player game. I am one of those Scrabble players who is lucky to break 150 without opening the dictionary to find out that the collection of mysterious glyphs laid out before him can somehow be assembled into a legal word that is more complicated than one you would find in a Dick and Jane book. I do not provide even a nominal challenge, and where the average player would experience something akin to fun while playing the game, I experience only frustration. Yet my wife insists that we play together. Making words is fun, she says, oblivious to my failure to use all my letters even once in the decade we've been playing. All right, no bingos for Will. But since she puts up with me describing everything in the world in RPG terms, for example, some idiot cast freezing cloud out there. Like, I thought I would have picked up some resist cold with all my trips to Seattle, but I just took 1d8 ongoing 15 feet to the garage and back, and it keeps failing my save even though I'm back in the house. This is bullshit. Even more mundane, wizard needs food, badly. The very least I can do is provide some companionship while my wife makes the Scrabble board and me her bitch. For several months I've been able to avoid the humiliation of putting my scragular impotence on full display. When she asked me to play last night after dinner, her breathtaking beauty illuminated only by the twinkle lights on our Christmas tree and the flickering glow of our fireplace. My wife is awesome. She is awesome. I know. Somehow she stays married to me. I failed my save versus charm because she got the +20 "you're madly in love with me" bonus. And I went directly to our game closet. I looked past games that would be fun for me to play. Battlelore, that's two-player game. Carcassonne, Guillotine, Awful Green Things from Outer Space, Uno. Enslaved by her spell, I pulled Scrabble off the shelf and took it to the living room. Our dogs curled up on the floor next to us as we began to play. I reached into the bag of tiles and drew an X. She reached into the bag of tiles and drew an E. It was an unnecessary harbinger of instant. She went first and instantly took a 20-point lead. I scored 7. Much better than usual. 4 or 5 turns later, she played sexy for a triple word score, and I never caught up. It was a blowout. I was Custer, little bighorn, Barrow, Connick, the Broncos in Super Bowl 24. The very slim piece of the Venn diagram that's like also football fans, was just like, oh, dude.